recent years, more awareness is being brought to food allergies due to the severity of reactions. It is estimated that up to 50% of the population has an abnormal reaction to foods, certain foods. And here to help us understand food reactions is Dr. Mikell Parsons from the Natural Path Health Center. Thanks for being here again, Doctor. It's good to have you.
It's good to be here.
All right, how do we know that we even have allergies? Because a lot of the times, I mean, we just think, okay, well, I'm not breathing correctly because of the air.
Or this is just the way I am.
Exactly.
There's several different types of allergy responses in the body. There's the one where you take a bite of shrimp, your throat closes up. I don't need to tell you, don't eat shrimp, right? You figure that out. But then there's this whole gray zone of allergies or intolerances. These are things that can cause asthma, they can cause headaches, they can cause rashes, they can cause irritability. You name it, I've seen it happen. And it can be something as innocent as cashews, which is one of my allergies.
So let me get this straight. You can have a handful of cashews, for example, and then become real irritable. And it may be because you're allergic to cashews.
Right.
No kidding.
But you think, well, gee, it's because, you know, my child just spilled milk on the floor.
Or I'm just having a bad day.
Yes, it's my time of the month.
Yeah.
We blame a lot on that.
That's a good one, though, isn't it?
Yeah, we use that a lot. But we can be reactive to any kind of food. I've had people in the office that are highly allergic to turkey, highly allergic to celery. Paprika is another one of my allergies that knocks me out like I've had a sleeping pill, where I can't stay awake enough to drive home. Paprika, for heaven's sakes.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, before I get to the question of how do we know what foods we're allergic to, let's talk about some of the symptoms of food allergies. Some of them being, as you mentioned before, gas, bloating. Let's talk about this.
Probably some of the more common ones are the gas, the bloating, alternating diarrhea, constipation. So some people might think they have irritable bowel, and they've been diagnosed with that. For most of those people, there's an underlying food allergy, or they're not digesting their foods, which will cause an irritability, which will mimic a food allergy. It can cause neurological problems, migraines. I'm very allergic. I have a lot of intestinal issues, and I used to get migraines all the time, and I lived for chocolate. Don't get between me and chocolate. I would take you down and not think twice. But I was getting constant headaches and migraines, foggy thinking. It was horrible. It was ruining my quality of life. So once I got off of chocolate, I don't have those kinds of headaches anymore.
You can also have general body symptoms, unexplained fatigue, muscle pain, joint pain, it says here. Wow, ear, sinus infections, and respiratory problems.
Yeah, so asthma, constant chronic cough, sinus problems, which are those are all things that are really common in the valley to begin with. We often think it's more of an airborne issue. But if there's an underlying food allergy, that could be the true cause of those symptoms.
Wow. Okay, and then the skin symptoms are a bit more obvious than the rest of them.
Although circles, the dark circles under the eyes, a lot of people think, well, you're just tired.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a classic food allergy response. So especially in kids, if they always have those dark circles, there's an allergy issue.
No kidding.
Yeah.
What if you got dark circles with hives? That's certainly
you
something.
Need to,
okay,
yeah.
Oh boy, okay.
Yeah, you got the double header.
Yeah, I do actually, okay. What kind of reactions? I just put a little aloe vera on and hope for the best. What kind of reactions can happen then? Let's talk about food reactions, aside from the obvious we've mentioned, like hives and stuff like that.
Some of the more unusual things that I've seen is, once again for me, I would get left knee pain. It would swell, I couldn't bend it.
Okay.
I've had several men who had impotence due to a food allergy, not due to a Viagra deficiency, but due to a food allergy, corn in particular. I've had people, I had one young woman who had chronic swollen lymph nodes in her groin, and they kept trying to figure out where the cancer was. She didn't have cancer, she had an allergy. So it could mimic anything, and the problem with food allergies is they are unpredictable. I can't look at you and say, well, you're going to be allergic to this and this is going to be your symptom. That's why a lot of practitioners don't even want to deal with it, because there's no logic.
Then how do we figure out, this is a big question, how do we figure out which foods we are allergic to? Do we get the symptoms right away?
Well, with some types of allergies, it depends on the physiological response inside. With some allergies, yes, you will notice it right away, and you can probably figure that out on your own. But to the sensitivities, the food sensitivities, those reactions can be delayed up to 7 days after you ate the food.
Ooh.
Now, do you remember everything you ate yesterday?
No, that's what I mean. How do we pinpoint the
So that's where someone like me comes in, where I've been trained, partly because I had to figure out what's going on with me, but I've been trained to look at that health history, look at everything from head to toe, do some things that I could check in the office, and it might be that I'll say, you know, you need to get off of dairy. I think dairy is causing it. Sometimes I have a general idea, but if we really want to get to the heart of it, there's a lot of testing that we can do.
So you can't figure it out on your own, basically, unless it's obvious.
Unless it's obvious. Most people can't. In fact, most people, when they come in to see me, they're blown away. What do you mean I have a food allergy? Because food's supposed to be our friend.
I know.
When it acts like a terrorist, that's a problem.
So you have a special for us today. Yes. Let's talk about that, because you always have a great special.
Yes. So because I know this is a big issue for a lot of people, it's something that I see literally every day. If you suspect, or now you're curious, do I have a food allergy? Is this maybe what's been my issue all along? I'd like to encourage you to come into the office, and I will meet with you for 30 minutes and just kind of get a history and a general sense of, is a food allergy an issue? And if so, what's the next step?
Got it.
And we'll do a special because of the show. Instead of a $65 value, we're going to give you a discount and make it $50.
Awesome. That sounds like a great deal. Thank you for helping us out, Dr. Parsons. I know that's your goal anyway. So
that's right. My mission.
Yes, that is your mission. Dr. Parsons is at the Natural Path Health Center at 745 East Locust, and her number is easy, 447-1404, 447-1404. Visit her on the website, too, naturalpathfresno.com. Great information, as always. Dr. Parsons, we'll see you next week.
All righty.
Awesome. Stick with us, Central Valley Today. We'll be right back.